Hey, 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 it's Cassie, and I'm back for another episode of the Manifestation Queen podcast. I'm so happy you're here, and I'm so happy and thankful that you decided to push play today on this episode. This is going to be for you if you find yourself frustrated and unappreciated by the people around you. If you are that mom that's out there doing all the things and getting yelled at by your kids and doing things for your for your husband, and at the end of the day you're like, you don't appreciate me and I'm so fucking frustrated, I don't even know what to do, and all the things, right? This is for you, because guess what? This was me, and this is, honestly, a very recent version of me, as in a few days ago. All right, so this one gets really, really real, and I wanted to make this I just wanted to share this with the community, because I feel like, especially in the spiritual community, we are so pressured to be high vibe all the time and to be there doing the things and to be giving, and sitting there waiting on the receiving, like any fucking day now. I'm ready to receive, but really, are you? Because honestly, if you are not doing what you want on a daily basis because of somebody else, then I'm going to call you out a little bit, and this episode is going to help you. I actually recorded this in my private group, the Abundant Soul Social Club. If you're not a member yet, then what the hell are you waiting for? Come join the fun. Also, this is really a message because everything's connected. If you're a spiritual entrepreneur, then you're going to want to listen to this too, because your business is connected to your level of happiness or your level of frustration at home. Because this all comes down to boundaries. Are you willing to enforce boundaries, whether they're energetic, physical, or real? Or do you have a flimsy fence up in between you and other people, and you allow people to like trample all over it, as though it's like the Foo Fighters playing at Coachella and it started raining and all the fences started falling down, so you bum rush the front, like VIP area. You know what I mean? Back when we could go to Coachella, and we will go again very, very soon. However, this is an episode for you. Also, go join my Abundant Soul Social Club. I'm going to be announcing some super fucking fabulous Black Friday specials to make you wildly abundant in your business and give you a social presence, and also in your life, and also in your love life. So go find us there on Facebook, and you can find me on Instagram at Cassie MacKenzie. If you absolutely love this episode, I would absolutely love it if you went on iTunes and left a 5-star rating or a review, so more cool people like you can find it. That would be fucking amazing. I love it. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day. Enjoy this episode, and I will be talking with you soon. Bye. Are you ready for this? Let's do it. Welcome to the Manifestation Queen podcast, your filter-free and uncensored source for all things manifestation. I'm Cassie MacKenzie, and I'm a manifestation expert. I'm here to raise your vibes and your cash flow. Listen, I've manifested everything from a beer, a 6-figure salary, my husband, and homes, and more. And I am spilling everything I can on this podcast so you can learn how you can do the same. The more fun I have, the more manifestations appear, and the more money I make. So it's my obsession to show you how you can be, do, and have anything you want. So join the movement to raise your income and your impact on this world. Become a manifestation queen and create a life that feels like a vacation. Let's do the damn thing. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Cassie MacKenzie. I am a spiritual coach that and the host of the Manifestation Queen podcast. Let's all take a deep breath. Whew. So if you were watching my previous video, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to it. It just kind of went away. But we go on, don't we? All right, let me introduce myself. I am an intuitive business coach. I help you bring in massive abundance into your life and into your business and create harmony in the chaos, okay? If you're like me, you've got a business or a life that's completely chaotic, and I get you, okay? I get you. So let's get started again. So before I was talking about like really the what I'd love to do is just be able to talk. I would love to be able to get on a live stream, and especially today, and know what the fuck to talk about. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to the cards. I am going to shuffle these bad boys, and let's do a card reading first to start off this conversation. And in the meantime, though, like I work with spiritual entrepreneurs, especially those that are looking to really get through, like break down any of the blockages and things that you're having in a super fun way. And I approach manifestation from a kind of a different mindset. I have a course called the Abundance Alchemy. If you're brand new to manifestation, you don't really quite know how it works and how it applies to your life, then that's a great starting point for you, because it gives you everything that you need to know, as well as the energetic work. It's the practical plus some of the energetic work, visualizations, subconscious reprogramming, so that you can completely become like a pro at manifesting and get a seat in one of my future programs that actually goes a lot deeper in a deeper way. So what I'm going to do today is tell you why it is bitchy as fuck to not do what you want to do in your life. And this might come as a shock to you, because I know like typically in our society, you know, like people want you to look out for other people. And this is really misunderstood. So the way I look at it is, and it goes along with manifestation principles about living a life that's exciting to you, that's fun to you, that feels good, that feels exciting, and it feels like you're in your power. When you're in your power, you're able to like truly achieve fucking anything you could ever want to do. But a lot of times we look like we're in our power. We say things that indicate we're in our power, but really when it comes down to it, we're not. You're giving your power away at some level, especially if you're not really seeing what you want manifested into your life. Then you're going to want to listen to what I have to say today, because chances are at some level you're giving your power away, you're giving your energy away, and this is why you're not getting what you want in your life. So let's start from the beginning. The beginning really is where, you know, if you're giving your power away to someone else, like what this could look like is you, for instance, like I'm married, I've got 2 kids, me showing up and serving them, giving, but never receiving, but also not really telling them how I want to receive, and not setting any boundaries for what's acceptable and what's not. Just kind of taking in their energy, taking in everything, which leaves me feeling depleted, and it leaves me feeling like a piece of shit and not excited and just kind of like taken advantage of, you know? And then I keep asking for people to say, I appreciate you, or asking for them not to take advantage of me. But then what do you think happens? They continue to do it because that's just been the standard, right? So if you're watching this on the replay, hit #replay. Tell me if you relate to this, because I know you do. At some level, I know that you relate to this, because especially as women, we kind of are told that, you know, it's not okay to not be there to serve everybody else. And when you start a business, you want to be there to serve everybody and to show that you are established as an expert in your field, and show that you know what the fuck you're talking about and how to help people. But also what this can show up as is like not charging your worth, putting out offers that really are what you think you should be putting out, but not really what needs to be put out. Because it's not what your soul is calling for. Yes, you can relate. I'm so happy to hear that. You know, and also what this can do, you know, you might not enforce boundaries, like energetic boundaries. You might have people sign up for programs with you, and maybe they're signed up for 4 months. And at month 2, they're like, oh, by the way, I'm just going to do 1 more month and not 2. And you're like, okay. You know, I've been there. I've done that. And I didn't like it. Afterwards, I really didn't fucking like it, because the first thought I had was, oh, well, then wait till you get, you know, customers that do that. Wait till you get clients that do that. But it wasn't about that person. It was about me not enforcing my boundary. What comes to that person down the road doesn't really affect me at all. It will affect them. It's their karma. It's what they're setting up as an energetic standard, that it's okay to not live out your commitment, right? You get that? When really for me though, it's me making a commitment to myself. It's me setting a boundary that's more for me than it is for them. Like boundaries, that's the thing we don't understand. I mean, I've been talking about boundaries to my husband, for example, for like a year about other people, like in-laws, family, all that. Like, well, we're not doing this. That's just the new standard. When we go do XYZ, I refuse to do, whatever they want to because we're coming there with 2 kids. And what do you think happens? We go there, we end up doing it anyway. We start to feel like shit. We're like run down. And people walk all over us and we're so worried about them being mad. It's not like that. Who the fuck does that help, right? You're not being yourself. You're not allowing the full like version of you to come out. You're kind of like taking a shit on your soul because your soul's like, wait a second, and yourself, right? Yourself's like, huh, but I don't want to do that. Like, I don't really want to do that. Why do I have to? You know what I mean? So, and I don't mean this in like a teenage way of like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm just talking about like simple boundaries that you set for standards on what you allow to happen in your life. And really, it's not about the other person, not about setting a boundary for somebody else and what they're allowed to do to you. It's setting a boundary for where you say, no, like this is the point where I will become emotionally invested in this conversation up to this point. This is where my boundary is. And if you decide to cross it, then I'm just like, clearly, yeah, not going there. I'm not going there. Because, what tends to happen is you get your energy pulled into that, let's just say you're into a fight, and then the fight escalates and you start screaming in front of your kids, and then your kids learn that it's okay to start screaming at each other, right? I mean, that's what used to happen in our house a whole lot, and now our kids scream at each other a whole lot. So there's going to be a little of undoing there. But like in the past, I used to get pulled into arguments all the time because here's the thing, I had a huge need to be right all the time. Let me say that again. Yeah, I totally had a huge need to be right. Like, it was so important for my point to be heard. It was so important for that other person to get to a point where they're like, I agree. Definitely, you're right. You are right. Like, there's no other perspective that could possibly be right, And what that does is it like negates that person's humanity, that they're not capable of actually living a different life and having a different perspective. And you see this play out a lot of times with like politics right now, right? Or family. Like, this is a really timely conversation for the holidays coming up next week if you're from America. Because just remember, when you're sitting across at the Thanksgiving table, that there's a boundary for what you'll allow yourself to get drawn into. Because here's the thing that's going to be most important. Your vibe. Your vibe is the most fucking important thing that you could ever protect, because that is what is going to attract everything else to you. Okay, you do all this work, you watch all the videos, you take the courses, you spend thousands of dollars on courses and coaches and mentors, and then one freaking Thanksgiving dinner or one kind of like interaction with family completely rips it apart, and that's not fair to you. So the way really is to understand that everybody's got their own perspective, and it's okay. And you don't have to have expectations. You don't have to have expectations on anybody or anything or any circumstance. That boundary is the most important thing, and being consistent in setting up that boundary. Like, for example, for me, what I realized is that I would set up, so for example, I would say like, this is what I want, right? Like, this is what I want. And if I don't get it, then, oh, well, like, I guess I'll just do it myself. So what that teaches somebody else to do is just not do it. And then you do it yourself, right? When there is a way, and then I'd get mad, even though I set the example that like, I was going to do it myself anyway. So my expectation was that they were going to finally listen and light a fire under their ass. And then they were going to they knew that I would end up doing it myself. So there was no incentive. There was no like win-win there, right? And really at the end of the day, my expectation and my, like high and mightiness that, well, I'm just going to, fuck them. I'm going to get mad. was really just hurting me because that's hurting my vibe. Does this make sense? Drop me a heart if this makes sense, because I think this is one of the things that I most misunderstood. And I just had to let go of the need. Like, I know, listen, let me be real. I know I'm right about like 100% of things, right? Wait, let me give some wiggle room. I know that I'm right about 98% of things. However, I don't have to get them to agree with me. I can just, if they're not getting it and they're like deer in the headlights about something that I've studied and they're just not there yet, then they're just not there yet. And there's no amount of me pushing and pushing and pushing that's going to make them really want to go. It's like giving a cat a bath. My cat drinks out of the toilet, but it's not because I shoved her head down there. She discovered it on her own. So, Kiki, who's hiding under the bed now, that's the story, right? So if you can let go of the need to be right about things, then that's going to make you so much happier. At least it started to make me way more happier. Because here's the goal. The goal is not to be right. The goal is to be free. The goal is to be having fun and to be like free to share yourself, free to share your truth, to share your emotions, to share whatever the fuck it is that you want to share, and to know that it's okay because it's your life. So this is all about really doing, saying, feeling what you want to feel, say, and do. This is nothing about the other person. And it's so bitchy to yourself to not do what you want to do. Okay. So you've got decisions to make. All it takes is one decision. And that decision is like, I commit to myself. I commit to myself because in my boundaries, and this is a decision to commit to these boundaries, because the love, money, health, joy, manicure is all on the other side of it. All on the other side of that. You being an energetic match for all of that abundance is seriously on the other side of you deciding that you are worthy of these boundaries. And you enforcing these boundaries and speaking your truth, living your truth that way is what is going to give you that feeling that you're more and more worthy of all this shit, like over and over and over and over and over again. Truthfully, because I just went through this myself. And just this morning, I had a conversation with my husband that normally would have ended in me saying, to be honest, oh my God, what a fucking idiot. Like, I cannot understand why he doesn't fucking get this. And he hasn't said, oh my God, you're right yet. Like, that would be my thought. And then I'd probably get upset and annoyed. And when he would say, I love you, I'd be like, whatever. If you loved me, like, you would agree with me. And that's so stupid of me. Like, so funny. So now I just kind of like laughed about it because I'm like, oh my God, him harping on me, like, or like, I don't know, there was something, I forget. I've already forgotten, which is like major. But it was something where like he was just like trying to like poke the bear. And normally the bear likes to poke back and not in the fun way. So, but this time I was like, oh my God, I'm not even going to go there. Like, it's so even not even worth it. And here's the other part that my coach actually helped me discover. Those issues, those interpersonal relationships, that inner conflict and external conflict that I was having was actually hurting my business, because then you get me showing up as like wonky energy where I'm clearly hiding something, or I'm not really, it's just like a shell of a person, because I wasn't living in my power, right? I was giving my power away to these situations and it was energetically draining me. You get what I'm saying? So, which in turn wasn't making me that excited. It wasn't making me that excited for my life, for my business, for just ongoing. Like, I was waiting for something. And usually I think the first thing we go to is, well, when I make money, I'll be excited again. And like, no, it doesn't fucking work that way. Like, you've got to be excited and happy and showing up already. in order for that, and like showing up not just in your business but in your life, showing up for yourself so that you can get your power back. Okay? So it doesn't always have to be dramatic. It doesn't always have to be dramatic at all. And I'm going to be teaching more about like the emotional intelligence part of all of this and how it relates to abundance and energy and manifesting in my upcoming like program that's coming out towards the beginning of the year. But in the meantime, like the one thing you have to remember is that your energetic vibe is what's going to determine everything that comes to you. So you've got to protect that. And the way you protect that is by allowing those emotions to come out, allowing those thoughts and feelings and things to come out of you. Because otherwise you're stuffing them down and you're feeling that pressure. So you've got to find ways to set the boundaries and release the pressure at the same time. For me, my coach took me through a visualization exercise where I was able to release that pressure, but also spread more of my light. Because to be honest, if you're a light worker, or if you are just newly starting with manifestation, then there is that abundant soul within you. There's that energy within you that is wanting to be shared with the world. And that can be the world around you as a light worker, or it could be the world around you as just a human being that is here on earth to enjoy your life more and more every day. So your ability to be in a high vibration, a high frequency, to have that light spread, to have that glow, affects the people around you in such a huge way. Have you ever walked into a store and you've had somebody say, like, or just like somebody behind the counter and they're like, like so excited. And they're like genuinely excited. They're not like a plastered Walmart smile. Like, I'm so happy to be here, stacking these tomatoes endlessly. Like, no, like you know those places where you walk into the coffee house and it's like the fun guy is working behind the counter that, knows everybody's name and gives the kids a free cookie. You know what I mean? That vibe, you can feel it, you can tell. So very true. Let them out. Yeah, I know. Well, it was hard for me to do too, Michelle, to be honest, because I felt like I was being pulled in so many different directions. And there's like several ways to like release that pressure. You can cry, which you might not feel comfortable doing that. You can scream. You can take like a baseball bat, like a plastic one, and hit a pillow just to get it out. But the main thing is like you can feel when that pressure is in there, and you can feel it like on your back. Like you just feel like so weighed down. And your goal is to feel as light as possible, right? Because that's what's going to attract everything back to you. It's as simple as that. As simple as that in theory, but it can be very hard to do if you're not used to it, and it can be really, really uncomfortable. So, but this has truly helped me in so many ways. And I'm saying like, this helped me this week. Like this is me deciding that this is the new standard this week. This is not like me sitting here saying like, like I've known this forever, but behind the scenes, I haven't really been doing it, I haven't up until now. And it feels so much better. Yeah. Physically getting it out. Yeah. My husband actually went, the first time he got Reiki, he went to the appointment and then he actually, like she gave him, she like keeps him on hand, like, and gave him one to take home. Cause I guess he had a lot of like pent up anger and frustration from, I don't even know what, just like from like ongoing throughout his life, that she was giving him like a healthy way. So, and I was actually watching a show on, I think it was TBS. There was one, Lost Resort, and it was about this group of people who went to this, retreat in Costa Rica, and it was like a wellness retreat kind of thing where they all had different issues that they finally wanted to fix, like anything from like a broken marriage to like a mom and daughter like hating each other, just all kinds of stuff, right? And like basically all the shit you want to run from and not confront. They were like, oh, well, hey, I haven't confronted this my whole life, but doing it on like a television show that's going to be aired nationwide sounds like a great idea, right? Woo! Woo! So it was a good show. But one of the episodes was they actually went, each one of them went through this thing where like they screamed out everything that they were upset about. Like they envisioned the person in front of them and they screamed at the top of their lungs at them just until they were done. They like literally got it all the way out. And then in another episode, they did something where they ended up throwing it up. I think they drank something that then interacted, and then they ended like throwing up all of this garbage that had been like stuff down. So I recommend go if you want to, if you're looking for a new series, go try that one. But also, yeah, like think about going and getting a pillow and just just plastic bat, like hitting the pillow and getting it out, because it's got to get released somehow, and you will feel so much lighter. And you might feel like you need to do this every single day. You might feel like you need to do it every single day, but then you'll find that do it and then decide what the new standard is. Do it and set the new boundary and stick to the boundary. Make that decision to really honor yourself and stick to the boundary so that you're growing. You're not just I think a lot of people end up stuck in the same little turn, right? They never end up growing out of it because it's just a repeating pattern. But if you can get it out, decide the new standard, get it out and decide the new standard, and just constantly rise throughout the process, then eventually you end up having to, you end up not having to do this as often. You're not going to be bottling as much stuff in because your new standard is one where you set it so that you don't have to do that. You're setting that new standard in which it's unacceptable to even get to the point where something would happen that you would feel like you're dishonoring yourself, you're giving your power away. Because this is all about maintaining that personal power. Your personal power is what is going to attract all the abundance to you. And it's it was mind blowing to me because I was I was on this call and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this has been such a huge thing. I can't believe I'm spending all this time talking about this issue that's been bothering me. I want to talk about something that I want to actually do, something fun, something cool, right? But it's no, my guides were no, she needs to nip this in the bud first, because they to get to that next level in my business, in my life, in my happiness that my soul wants me to get to, and my higher self does, I need to be able to handle things with a lot more boundaries and grace. And that's been the lesson that I learned around that. So let me know if that resonates with you. I really felt like this was something that a lot of people can benefit from. A lot of you guys out there needed to hear, to know that you can find that excitement for yourself. You don't have to have everybody agree with you in whatever your goals are. You don't have to have your husband even agree with you. He doesn't even have to know everything about what your goals are. You just have to, you be behind it, and you set those boundaries, and you gain your power and hold on to your power, because that is what is the biggest gift you can give yourself. So I hope this resonated. So also, speaking of gift you can give yourself, next week I'm releasing my Black Friday deals. So if you are a business, if you've been wanting to create an online presence, I have a special for you, and an online presence that's magnetic, so that you've got your people that you go to and you love it and you're having so much fun. Then I'm going to have a special for you. Also, if you've been thinking about getting into the Abundance Alchemy program, I'm opening up my Black Friday deal right now. This is going to be super special. So reach out to me. I'm just not going to publicize it yet, but Abundance Alchemy is actually going to be on a super fabulous Black Friday deal next. Oh, you're welcome, Angie. Through next week, but especially, I'm going to announce everything next Wednesday. But if you're interested in getting into the Abundance Alchemy program, you want to secure your spot now, because I have space for 10 people. So if you want to secure your spot, then reach out to me, because this is going to be so much fun. And Abundance Alchemy is going to be the program that you take before going into my program that I'm actually going to be starting in January, which is creating a sensual experience around bringing abundance into you. And it's all a lot of energy work, tapping into your psychic gifts and more exciting stuff that I just, oh my God, I get little tingles right here when I think about it. So energy is everything, or everything is energy, whatever the hell my shirt says. I can't wait to see you guys over the next week. I will be divulging more details, but again, PM me if you're into it. All right. I love you guys so much, and you are welcome. I'm so glad. So go, you do you, seriously. And this means more and more and more to me every single day. And especially now, even more than last week, because if you are not saying yes to yourself, if you are not doing what you want, then your business is not doing what you want it to do either, truthfully. So I'm just going to leave you with that. If you want more long-term, high-level support, I do have 2 spots open in my one-on-one coaching container. I've had several people reach out about it, so it's probably going to be filled up very soon. If this is something that sounds good to you, then reach out to me as well, and we can see if that we're a good fit to work together. So go have a beautiful day, go enforce your boundaries, step in your power, really have zero attachment to actions or words or behavior on anybody else's part but your own. Let me know how this changes your life and how this changes really how you feel more free and fun and able to enjoy yourself because you're honoring yourself more, okay? And it's no bullshit. It's no drama required. And that's the part I love the most about it, because I feel like a lot of people require a lot of fucking drama, and ain't nobody got time for that, bitches. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay. I love you so much. I mean it. And I will be talking with you soon. We've got some amazing, fabulous guests coming on my Manifestation Queen podcast, and keep an eye out for it. All right. Talk with you soon. Love you guys. Bye. Thanks a million for choosing to push play on another episode of the Manifestation Queen podcast. You truly amaze me. And if this episode blew your mind, then please leave a 5-star rating and a quick review on iTunes so more people like you can become manifestation queens too. See you next time.